The Sephora Savings event is coming up soon, and I have some great makeup recommendations for you. Let's get into it. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Alexis, aka Uniquely Lex, and to all my returning subscribers, what's up, fam? So glad that you are back for another video. Around this time, I get so excited because it's the Sephora Savings event, and all the great things at Sephora are gonna be discounted on sale. So I'm gonna put all of the details up here on the screen for the Sephora Savings event, and it will determine based upon your membership. As you can see, there are different tiers. So depending on your membership will determine when the sale starts for you, on which date, and also what percentage discount that you receive. So along with this screen, I will also put those details in the description box below. So I have some great recommendations for you, and I'm gonna go through each category based off of the steps that I do for my makeup routine. And because I have a lot of products, I'm gonna try my best not to spend too much time on each product. So let's just dive right on into it, starting out with our primers. These are also my top recommendations as well. So things that I use all the time, products that I purchase with my own money because I have not had the opportunity to work with Sephora just yet. So these products have been purchased by my own coin, and products that I would highly recommend and that I use quite a bit and have repurchased on some of them as well. This right here, I'm sure everyone has heard of at some point. I know that there's like the dupe for it with e.l.f., but I personally do prefer the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. It does come with a pump on it as well. You get a lot of product in just this one bottle. So this primer is not one that's necessarily going to eliminate the pores and make it more blurring or anything like that, but it does have a really good grip effect to it. Yeah, grip primer. There is that stickiness that you do get on your cheeks. Not super sticky, but just enough that makes sure that the makeup is able to stay on your skin as you would want, you know, throughout your day as well. So it just helps makeup glide more easily on your skin and grips to your skin a lot better too. So I really do like this primer. Okay, moving into foundations. I have 3 foundations to share with you all. Okay, so starting out with the Blurring Skin Tint Eaze Drop by Fenty Beauty. I have mine in the shade 20. It's a small bottle, but it honestly, like, a little bit goes a long way, at least for me. Again, it is a skin tint, so it's not gonna give you full coverage or anything like that, but it gives a beautiful, beautiful, like, just finish to your skin. I will tend to use this a lot for like work or for church, just like for a quick makeup routine. Simple makeup, stuff like that, I'll use that, but it does give a blurring effect, like it states, blurring skin tint. But it also is a really good shade match for me too. With some of the foundations, I don't get the best shade match, but this one is a pretty good one for me. I think that there's a lot of shades actually in this line as well. But yeah, the finish is really beautiful. It gives kind of like a satin to matte finish. I wonder if it says what it's supposed to give. No, it doesn't. But yeah, it gives me kind of like a satin to matte finish, not too drying, just a really, really pretty effect on the skin. It's lightweight and it lasts me all day. So I really do like this skin tint. The next foundation is one that I've been using for years. It's a holy grail as well. I always get compliments on this foundation anytime I wear it, and I'm actually wearing it today as well. And that is the Nars Radiant Long Wear Foundation. You get a lot of product in this as well, and you do get a pump with this foundation. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I normally go for dewy looks to begin with. So adding on the Radiant foundation as my base really helps with that dewy look. I'll wear it in the summer, but most certainly now that we're in like fall, winter time frame, this is a great foundation to wear, a great foundation that's gonna last you all day. And it works just really well with a lot of products that you'll put on top of it. So again, I do have it on my skin, on my face today, and I normally will get a lot of compliments like, oh my gosh, your skin looks so good, it looks so flawless. So it does give you that radiance or that radiant look, but also gives your skin like a flawless finish. It's definitely one of my top foundations that I keep stocked up on. And I do have mine in the shade Macao. I feel like I could go like a shade darker though. I'm not even gonna lie. And I think that now there are a lot more shades in this line, so I might check out a new shade. But I do like Macao for what it is worth. I have used the shade for years and it's worked for me, but I do think I could go a shade darker. But I love this foundation. And then the last foundation I have for y'all, this is one of the newer ones that has come out. I got it, I want to say earlier this year, and have been using it like nonstop. So this is the Haus Labs foundation, Skin Tech foundation by Lady Gaga's line. And I have mine in the shade 385 Medium Neutral. So you also are getting a pump on this foundation as well. I think with this one, it is going to give you more of a matte finish. Now, I tend to go for the radiant look, so a lot of times I will be applying products on top of this that will kind of give my skin that glow again. It's really pretty. It goes smooth on the skin and it looks very flawless once you have it fully applied and your setting spray and all that great stuff. It looks really good on the skin. So she did her thing with this foundation and I really like it. Okay, next category is one of my favorite parts of my makeup routine, and that is concealers. I feel like a lot of people talk about this concealer and there's a reason for it because it's just so good. And that is Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. So I have this in two shades. I have this in Chai and I have it in Butterscotch. So this is Butterscotch and this is Chai. The Butterscotch is going to be your lighter color. Then the Chai I use for kind of just like color correcting a little bit. I know that sounds weird. Maybe I shouldn't say color correcting. I use it to just really cover up some of my dark spots. That's a better term. So I'll use it to cover up my dark spots. If I do have, some patches here and there, I will use that for this, but also under my eye, just to start out with like an even tone before I start applying like a lighter concealer. So I'll also use this on the top of my eyebrows as well to carve that out when I'm doing my eyebrows. And then for the Butterscotch, I will use this as a highlighted under eye concealer. I do have this on. I have two different concealers on actually. The Butterscotch is under this eye right here, and then the other one is a concealer that I'm gonna get into next. But I kind of just wanted to wear both to give you all an idea of what they look like. So the Too Faced Born This Way has amazing coverage, one of the most full coverage concealers that I have ever used. But I have noticed sometimes when my face might be a little too damp or too dry, honestly, like it's kind of like it has to be the just like a good balance. But sometimes I do notice that this will crack a little bit in my creases, like right at the tip under my eye, but it's not too bad or anything like that. It's not horrible creasing, but it sometimes does crease. My eyes will tend to water sometimes with different concealers. I'm assuming just based off of the products that are in them. This concealer doesn't make my eyes water. Again, it gives really full coverage and it works well with a lot of setting powders that I do use. And I think it's great for if you are just wanting to cover up with like a darker concealer color, or if you're wanting to highlight, both work perfectly. It's a great concealer. I absolutely love it. So the second concealer that I want to talk about, which is under this eye right here, is the Sephora Best Skin Ever concealer. And I do have this in the shade 31Y. Y meaning yellow undertone. Now, what I have started to realize is I think I want to get into some concealers that maybe have like a pink undertone, because I think I do have some pink undertones in my skin. But sometimes with yellow concealers, it can be too yellow, or it can kind of just be like a mix between neutral and yellow. So like I kind of just have to take my chances when I do purchase concealers. But this one, on the other hand, like this specific color will give you a super bright under eye. As you can see, I have it on under this eye again. But it is top tier, okay? Like the coverage in this concealer is amazing. Sephora really did it with this concealer. I'm definitely considering getting some in some darker shades, like my skin tone, that I could just use to cover up dark spots and stuff like that, because it is just so good. It's very, yeah, it says full coverage, yeah. It is very blendable, so it goes on super smooth, and you can use it. I've used it with just like a brush or a beauty blender. Either way, it works really well. If you do keep it on just a little bit, like if you let it sit a little bit longer, that'll give you even more coverage. But even if you were to just go in immediately after applying it by blending it out, you're still going to get great coverage just by that too. So it's a great concealer to use if you're in a rush as well, because it's going to blend really well and still give you top full coverage that you're looking for. One I'm definitely going to keep in my collection, most definitely, and is a great concealer to consider at the sale. And I would even go as far to say that the Sephora Concealer gives a little bit more coverage than the Born This Way Too Faced Concealer. You can challenge me if you want to, but I got them both on my eyes, and for me at least, Sephora definitely gave me a little bit more coverage, and it did not crease like the Too Faced did under my eyes. So I'm just saying, I still love them both, but Sephora most definitely outperformed thus far the Too Faced concealer for me. Okay, moving on to face powders. I only have one, the Laura Mercier powder, and this is the translucent but in medium deep. So it is a loose setting powder, meaning that it's not going to be pressed. You are going to see the powder in there. I don't want to tip it too much because it will come flying out. But you know what? This powder grew on me. So at first I purchased it thinking that I would use it as kind of like a pressed in powder for my face or my under eye when I didn't want a super highlighted under eye. But the color was a little bit too deep for my under eye. So I started using it just as a face powder, and it gives just the most beautiful finish to the skin. It isn't going to make it too cakey or anything like that. So it is a powdery setting powder, but I think it really applies nicely to the skin. And again, I have this on today, so you can make your decision based off of that. But I would definitely also encourage you to try it out for yourself. It's a great setting powder, and you get a lot of product in this as well. And once you have set it with your setting spray, it just melts in the skin. I love it so much, and I've come to really enjoy using this as a face powder. Okay, next up we have bronzers, and I have one bronzer for you. Now, bronzers are something I'm always going to use because I just think that it gives, you know, that just like that kiss to your face that you want, especially like in the summertime. But I'm using bronzers year round, okay? So that's just what I choose to do. So my recommendation for you on a bronzer from Sephora. Now, I do use other bronzers, but we're talking about Sephora specifically. So the one that I would recommend to you from Sephora is the Charlotte Tilbury in the airbrush bronzer, and I have it in the number 4 deep. Now, first off, the mirror that you get in this thing is beautiful. It literally is like a seashell. The packaging gives me life every time I open it. I'm like, so worth the money, because it is on the expensive side, but so worth the money, especially now because there's a sale going on. Oh, let me tell you. Yeah, I would hop on it. So this is what the color looks like, and I do have it on my face today as well. I just think that it gives a beautiful bronzy sun-kissed look to your face. The undertone of this bronzer is more on like the red side, so there are different shades to the bronzer if you would be interested, but I do think that it just gives that sun-kissed look to your face, especially after you've applied everything. It just really kind of finishes the look for you. It goes on really smooth, and let me tell you, this is highly pigmented, so you do not need a lot. When I first tried this, I kind of made the mistake at like digging in my brush to the bronzer and then applying it to my face, and I learned then that you do not need a lot. You do not need a lot of this product when you are applying it, so a little bit goes a long way, which is even better given the amount that you get in this packaging, but also with the cost of it, like you're able to, you know, save it and use it for a longer period of time, which I think is great. Charlotte really did her thing with this bronzer. It's a winner in my eyes. Okay, moving on to my second favorite part in my makeup routine, blush. I feel like there was a period in time where people stopped wearing blush. Like they were wearing it, then they stopped, and then blush came back. It is just like trending, and it hasn't left, okay? I absolutely love blush. I just think it adds, you know, that kiss, you know, that little perk of kissness to your cheeks and warmness to your face as well, and just like baby doll look, and I just love it so much. So I do have a couple of blushes to share with you, starting out with one that, again, I'm sure everyone has heard about, and it's a reason for it because it's just so good, and that is Rare Beauty's blushes. And their blushes are just so pigmented. First off, the packaging is so cute. It's so adorable, and blush is adorable to me anyway. So like it just adds on to the cuteness of it all. But I do have the shades Joy and Love. So I usually go to Joy for my blush. I have Joy on today. Joy is like your baby doll, a little bit on the darker side of a pink color. And I want to say that Rare Beauty also has like two different lines of blushes. So Joy is, I don't know if this is the exact name for it, so don't quote me, but on like the dewy blushes. And then Love is a matte blush. So I tend to go towards Joy just because I'm normally going for a pinker blush, but also because I like the dewy finish that it gives. Joy is a beautiful, deeper blush. It has little hints of purple in it, but it is pink as well. So you've got hints of pink and purple in it. But the matte finish, it just makes it kind of harder to work with a little bit on my skin. So I have normal to dry skin, and it will dry down really quickly when you put it on. So it's a little bit harder to work with, but I think it is a really beautiful color. Let me show you the colors real quick outside of the bottle. So this is Joy. It's a pink color, like I mentioned. It's like a salmon pink with little hints of orange and coral in it, I would say. And then Love is more of like a purple, brown, pink blush, if it will show here. The applicators are super cute. I normally will just dap, 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 and then that'll be enough. Like this, the blushes are very, very pigmented. I do highly recommend these blushes. Great for the price, and pigmentation payoff is just amazing. And moving on to one of the most difficult parts of my makeup routine, my eyebrows. I'm really considering, y'all, just getting my brows like tattooed on at this point, or whatever it's called, where like you don't have to mess with them. Brows be stressing me out, y'all, every time. It takes me the longest, and it's always like they're never twins. They're always sisters or cousins sometimes. Sometimes they're not even related. Okay, like let's just be honest. It's the hardest part for me. But I do have some great products that help me along the way as I'm doing my brows. So the first one that I'm going to speak on is one that I absolutely love, and that is Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade, and I have the color in dark brown. So it is almost gone. It's like I'm really at the bottom at this point. I'm at the bottom of it, but it comes in a glass bottle. It's really nice packaging, and it's small, but y'all, it lasts a long time. Like you really do not need to use a whole lot on your brows. I tend to use it really just to fill in my brows. I have it on today. It doesn't cake up on me, and I really like it and would highly recommend this pomade if you are looking for something for your brows. And then the next two products that I have are also within Anastasia Beverly Hills line of brow products, and that is their Brow Definer Pencil. They have also the Brow Wiz, which I have used before, but I tend to go and purchase the Brow Definer more often. I do have two of them in dark brown and in auburn. So what I love about these pens are it's two-sided, so you're going to get the spoolie on one end, and then you're going to get the part that has the product on the other end. There is quite a bit. Well, this isn't a new one, so you're seeing what's just left in this one, but you do get a good amount of product. And I normally go for dark brown as my typical color, but one time I was just like, oh, let's get a little spicy with it, and I got auburn to try a different brow color, and it still worked well and blended in well with my natural eyebrow color. It's going to be a fatter brow applicator, but also will take you less time to do your brows. Again, I use this to fill in my brows. The Brow Wiz, I would say I more so use to define like the front of my brow or the ends because it has a really fine tip. But this one, since it's fatter, I would just use it to fill in my brows, and it always worked really, really well. So if you're on in a rush, the pomade may take a little bit longer, but the brow definer, literally doop, 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 and you're done. Okay, next category, which again is one of my favorites, is going to be lips. I love me a good lippy, okay? And Sephora has so many great ones. It was really hard to choose, but I narrowed it down. If you haven't tried Sephora's lip stains, you really ought to. Right now I have 4, but best believe we're going to continue to add on to the collection. So I have it in 118, 98, 93, and 95, which is a red, a pink, a burgundy, and then an orange color. This orange poppin' in the fall. I love it so much. Honestly, all of these are great as combos. They're long lasting. They go on really smoothly, and they do stain the lips. So like it will stay on your lips for a good amount of time through eating, through drinking. At least for me, they have lasted. They're very compact and small, so they're easy to travel with and everything like that, which I really do like too. But they're very pigmented. I really love these. Honestly, you have to try them out if you have not. And Sephora's products are going to be 30% off anyway. So like, what? Yeah, get your hand on at least one if you haven't already. I also want to talk about this one right here. This is a newer lipstick that has come out, I believe, and I also have it on right now. I talked about it in my last video too, which was about like great, brown lipsticks for the fall. This is the lipstick Maurice by Mario. I want to say it's Makeup by Mario. Yeah, Makeup by Mario. And this is an ultra suede lipstick. It is just the most beautiful autumn fall brown. In my opinion, it goes so well with my skin tone, with my outfit. The packaging is really, really cute and nice. It's white packaging, and the way that the lid goes on is really simple too. Like it's almost like it's magnetic in there. It's really easy to just plop back on, but I love how smooth it goes on. The formula is really nice on these. It almost looks matte, but it's not super drying or like it crumbles on the lips or anything like that. Like it really just applies perfectly. So the last lip product that I have as far as like lipstick or lip gloss goes is by BUXOM, and it is BUXOM's full-on plumping lip creams. I have them in White Russian and Peach Daiquiri, and they look like this. They are on the bigger side, but really cute packaging. I absolutely love BUXOM's lip glosses, y'all, or their plumping lip creams. They are so good. White Russian has been one of my babies, like oldie but goodie, seriously. This is what the applicator looks like, so it is on the smaller, the skinnier side. And I will say that this is one of your thicker lip creams. It adds a beautiful shine and plumpness to your lip as well. I tend to go towards White Russian when I am doing a lip combo because it just works better with my skin tone. But I will use Peach Daiquiri when I'm looking for a brighter, like middle lip. Either way, the formulas on these are so great. They're so beautiful, and it just gives like the most cute little plumpiness to your lips. I absolutely love them. I would highly recommend BUXOM's lip creams for you to try out. Okay, next I have 3 lip liners that I want to share, and I've talked about these already on my channel. These are not new, but I literally love them so much. So first off, starting with like my all-time fave, which is MAC's Chestnut lip liner. As you can see here, it's a really beautiful deep brown. It goes on smoothly and it's very pigmented, which I love. And then you have Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk 3 Intense, which is a lighter brown. I would say, let me see here. So this one right here is Charlotte Tilbury's Intense lip liner. It's really smooth as well. I would say it's a little less pigmented than MAC's lip liner, but it still is very pigmented. It's smooth. It blends really well with the different lip products as well. And I really like it for the warmer undertone that it gives of brown. And then this next one is Makeup Forever's Artist Color Pencil in 612, which is Dimensional Dark Brown. And y'all, this brown right here is one of the deepest browns that I have ever tried in my life. It is this one right here. It really has undertones of deep dark brown and black to it. I used it today with Maurice. So I have Maurice and then I have 612 on my lips today. It is very blendable. It goes on very smooth. It's very pigmented as well. It's just all around great lip liners. I am going to see if they smudge though. Yeah, so MAC smudges. Charlotte Tilbury barely smudges. I don't know if we can see that. And then smudges. So they do smudge, except for Charlotte Tilbury. That one stayed on pretty well, as you can see here. So they do smudge, but at the end of the day, like I'm normally using them for blending in with my lip product anyway, so I'm okay with a little bit of smudging. That really doesn't bother me. But all around, great lip liners and great brands to try at Sephora. Okay, getting into two of my favorite setting powders. So when I say setting powders, I'm talking about for under eye, highlighted under eye, and sometimes like here in the creasing and then my T-zone areas as well. So first going in with my Laura Mercier. This is empty, y'all, but I kept the packaging so I could show you. This is a great under eye setting powder as well, the translucent one. It gives a flawless airbrushed finish to your eye. It does look a little powdery, I'm not gonna lie, when you first apply it, but then once you've put your setting spray on and everything, it really melts well into the skin and just looks beautiful. So I do have it on today, so you can, you know, make your decision off of that. But also I still would encourage you to try it out yourself. It's really fine powder skin, and I overall just really enjoy this powder. The second one that I want to talk about is Patrick Starr's One Size Ultimate Setting Powder, and I have it in the translucent shade again. This packaging is so cute. One, the packaging is nice just because it has this lid to keep the powder in, and once you open it, I will usually just put some powder in the lid and then apply from that point. So I do like the safety feature in the packaging to keep that powder in there. But as far as the formula goes, y'all, this stuff did not come to play. It did not come to play. Just like the Laura Mercier, it's going to give you a very flawless finish to your under eye. This does not apply as cakey, but it is a heavy powder. And it blends very, very well too with all of my products that I use. So I would highly recommend this one as well. Next up, let's talk about setting spray. Charlotte Tilbury's Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. It's a party all night, stay all day. And that's exactly what it does. So this spray, I will say, will kind of give you a mattified look, like not horrible. I used it today. I used both of these, the MAC Fix Plus and the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush. I used both of them on my face today. This one though, I really use, again, because I normally go for the glowy look, but this one I use primarily because it really does keep your makeup on all day. But for those who are looking for a spray that's going to kind of keep the face mattified throughout the day and keep your makeup in place, this is definitely one to check out. I do have a few brushes to recommend to you. The first being for brows, again, because brows is hard for me, so a good brush does help. And I do use the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow brush in the number 12. I really love it for the angled tip that it has, and then it does have a spoolie. My spoolie is really dirty, so don't look too hard, but I really do like this brush for my brows. I also would recommend Sephora's two brushes, 96 and 70. 70 is a good brush for your foundation. Applying that gives a really good buffing to your foundation. It is thick and it's very compact too, which helps, you know, it not to absorb so much of your foundation as you're applying, and it doesn't leave bristle strokes on your face as well. And then 96 is the brush I use for blush. I just love how like poofy, it's still compact, but it's poofy, it's really soft and fluffy, and I just love like just applying blush with it. It just feels so good on my skin. So those are all of the makeup products I have as recommendations for you at the Sephora Savings event. All of the links will be provided in the description box below. Y'all know that I am good for that. And also, y'all, I just want to say a huge thank you again because we hit over 1K subscribers on this channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you all so much. I could not do this without your support. So thank you to everyone who has supported us thus far. And if you haven't subscribed yet, it's not too late. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you join the fam, okay? Make sure you like this video if you did enjoy it, and leave a comment below if you have any questions, thoughts about these products, or just letting me know if you plan to shop at the Sephora Savings event and what products you plan on picking up yourself. If you want to know my recommendations for skincare at Sephora, make sure you click the video up top to watch next. Otherwise, I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.